guys, fell behind, early again. Just how much more difficult did that make it to try and mount that comeback in the second half?
It's always difficult if you spot a team like plus 15, stuff like that, especially against Wisconsin because they play really slow. They take their time on each possession.
You know the mic here. There you go. Sure.
Mav, you guys talked after the Purdue game. We got to change something. Just what's happened the last couple of weeks with this team, and where do you think you're going?
When I said change something, I just mean, do what we do. I didn't really mean, change who we are, change our culture, like how we play or anything like that. Just kind of getting back to how we know we can play. I think we're still working on that, obviously, but we're just going to keep our heads, keep our heads down, keep rolling, keep doing what we do.
Here back to the players' right.
Malcolm, over to your right back here. I mean, you guys shoot pretty well at home. You score a lot of points at home. I know some of it was their defense, but how much of it was their defense tonight and you guys not executing your offense that you did not score what you're accustomed to scoring here?
Their defense was solid. I just feel like, I think we had a lot of good shots that we just missed tonight. So, yeah, I felt pretty comfortable with our offense, the shots we were taking, especially early on.
Michael, here on the left.
Malcolm and Matt, maybe both of you can take this. Both of your seniors trying to get to the first NCAA tournament. Are you guys starting to feel the pressure with the losses starting to pile up here in Big Ten play of trying to make the tournament?
No, I don't really see it as pressure because then I'll just make it harder for myself. I'm just taking it one game at a time.
Yeah, I would say Malcolm really said it right there. We're not we obviously have goals, but we take everything one game at a time, just like we should, and we just need to keep doing that, moving down the stretch.
For Malcolm or Maverick, the second half during those 3 minutes when you guys cut the lead to 6, what do you think was going right like at that moment, and what was that feeling like?
I think that was one of the times where in the game where we were actually hitting our shots that we got good looks on. I think we had got 4 stops in a row, so we were just building off our defense. I think that's the main thing that happened.
Yeah, I would say obviously it's a good feeling whenever you're, making a run. It's a game of runs. That's something you hear quite a lot talking about Illinois basketball. Groce says it. We kind of reiterate that, but it's always a good feeling when you're cutting a run or making one of your own.
Scott, up here in the front.
I mean, you faced the early deficit thing on the road quite a bit, but it hasn't been the case at home. Does that hit harder when you fall behind by 16 at home in the first half?
I don't think so. I mean, it's the same thing on the road as it would be at home. I mean, obviously it's not something you want to do. I don't think it hurts any more or less at home. Obviously you got to defend the home court. That's really important to us. That's something Illinois has been good at in the past. We need to, get back to that. But, it's never good in any situation. It's hard both ways.
Obviously to start, hats off to Wisconsin. They're good. Obviously we know that. And, I thought, they made it difficult to score. Their defense was good. Thought they were great on the glass. I also thought I would certainly want to give them their due, but I thought we had something to do with that as well. Now, 19 offensive rebounds is entirely too many. I mean, and they're good. They're 17th in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. We knew that going into the game. 3 on the last possession of the first half, 3 on the last possession of the game, so 6 of the 19 were on those possessions. But that stands out. Then I thought, the start, you get down 16-2 to them. It's tough to anybody, but the style they play makes it difficult, and I'll give our guys credit. They fought back and cut it to 6. And then probably the third thing that stands out is the shooting percentage. When you play them, you've got to make shots. We have been shooting the ball well, especially at home, and when Hill and J. Cole go a combined 6 for 23, and some of those, I know the shot when it was a 6-point game, I felt like the building was really into the game, and Hill gets the wide open one on the out of bounds play with no one within several feet of him, and we missed that one. And we had another one on an inbound play for J. Cole that we ran. We missed that one. I just thought we missed some shots that were good. Certainly no disrespect to Wisconsin's defense because they've got a great defense, but I thought Hill and J. Cole were able to get good looks. We executed some things and got them some shots. We just didn't make them. So I thought those three things really stood out. The second chance possessions where they got 19 offensive rebounds, our shooting, and then the start. Those three things stood out to me in terms of our team. Plays that stood out that I thought were momentum plays, 6-point game. We're fighting like crazy. Our defense I thought was really good in the second half, and we missed the wide open three. That would have cut it to 3, cut it to a one-possession game. The free throw blockout that we had, which I have to watch that one on film. That was interesting. But I thought that was a big play. And then I thought when they poked away Tijon's ball in the middle of that run that led to a pick 2, pick 6, whatever you want to call it. It felt like pick 6. I thought was a big momentum play as well. Those three plays really stood out to me while we're scrapping and fighting and clawing. And, really I thought our half-court defense was, good enough to win. They shot 40% from the field. I thought we really competed there. Had 10 turnovers. We wanted to play with 9 or 10. That was the goal for the game. We did that. And we had 16 offensive rebounds ourselves. Which to get that number, you got to compete on the backboard to get 16 offensive rebounds against them. So we did some things, but when you're playing a team that's that good, to shoot 27%, give up 19 offensive rebounds, and get off to that start, again, I thought those were the three keys to the game. Questions?
Rob.
John, it looked like LeBron's injury affected not only his shot, but also some of the rebounds that he was contesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's been banged up, a little bit here and there. He's taped up with the bicep deal, but, he'll tell you he's the type of guy that doesn't want any excuses. He's got to secure a couple of those. I know he lost a couple of them, but, yeah, he's been fighting it a little bit.
Scott.
I mean, you faced those early double-digit deficits on the road quite a bit. Now that they're having it at home, it's not a great trend. I mean, how do you maybe break that? The next time.
Well, I think Wisconsin has something to do with that. They're pretty good. They made shots early. I didn't think our defense helped us any there. We missed shots early, and got behind on it 16-2, and then I don't know if it was so much. More execution than anything. For us, it was more shot making, I thought. And again, I don't want to take anything away from their defense. And they did a good job on Hill and, put some bodies on him and some bigger bodies on him. But, he's, I'm not accustomed to seeing him shoot air balls. We got to, we're better than that. And of course, he'll tell you he's better than that. We got to make a higher percentage of the shots that we were able to get in the game, especially with him and J. Cole and Mav. Those three guys shot 31 of our 58 shots, and I'm feel comfortable with that. We got it inside. I thought Mav did some good things inside. But we got to make a few more of those, especially the open ones. Got to shoot a higher percentage.
John, you've faced some big deficits in the Big Ten before, and your teams have battled back. Are you seeing that this team is capable of doing that, and why?
Well, I thought they didn't. You saw what they did when they got down 16-2. I mean, they fought. Defensively, we were really good in the second half. I thought we competed, pressured the ball, went to the offensive glass hard, got out in transition. I thought the only thing we didn't do in the second half was rebound consistently enough there, and I know 3 of those were in the one possession at the end, but too many, 19. I think they had 9 or 10 at halftime and maybe 9 or whatever. That was about 50-50 with the offensive rebound deal. And then we just didn't make shots. We've got to make more shots than what we made today. 27% is not going to cut it.
In the back.
So you definitely had this obviously the slow start, 16-point deficit early. It was only 13 though at the half. So what changed in the locker room? What'd you say to your guys there in order to get their defense to really play well against the Wisconsin team to get that lead down to 6? Was there anything different there?
No, just executing the game plan a little bit better. And then they missed some too. I mean, for example, the kid Iverson made a couple big-time shots. He had made 1 3 in conference play. He had made 2 the entire season. He goes 2 for 2 today. Give him credit. I mean, he hadn't done that all year. I don't know if he's done that in his career, but he did it today, So they made some shots. I thought in the second half we had a little bit more bite on the ball. I thought that was good. We made them a little bit more uncomfortable. I thought we had better energy defensively in the second half. And, guys had some pride, and they battled on that end of the floor. And really that's what cut it to 6. It wasn't our shot making. Even the shots we made to cut it to 6, I think Nichols had a breakaway on a steal or transition layup. Tate had a breakaway on a layup. We just kind of fought and scratched and clawed to get to that point. And then obviously had the blob play to cut it to 3, which we felt good about. We had ran earlier in the game, and we was open again, and just didn't make it.
Scott.
Tracy back in the starting lineup after you kind of take him out to maybe see if that could spark him a little bit. Just what was maybe the thought process there to get him back in?
It was just a coach's decision between me and J. Cole.
Michael.
Coach, you referenced the rebound at the end of the first half and the end of the game. How disappointing were those 2 defensive possessions, and is it an effort, or what's the issue there?
I don't know if it was. We'll have to take a look at it. I know they had us in rotation in the one at the end of the first half a little bit on the ball screen. Tijon got switched on to Vito Brown, he's whatever he is, 6'1". Vito's a little taller, but he's got to find a way to get him out of there on that switch. So that was that one. The one at the end of the game, I don't know. I have to take a look at it. I was more disappointed in that one than I was the one at the end of the first half.